This is a demonstration video for a Forest Manufacturing horizontal blade bandsaw set up for cutting large thermoformed or vacuum formed parts and cutting those parts off of a parent sheet. So as an example of what the customers are doing with these, they have what are effectively plastic signs. These are I don't remember the process is thermoform or vacuum form, but basically they start off with a flat plastic sheet and they create these raised letters from the plastic sheet. The next step in the process is to cut the raised letters off of the parent sheet. Some people are doing this manually, like with a handheld jigsaw or something like that, but that's a slow process and is subject to human error. So if you cut into the letter or number or sign that you're trying to keep, you just ruin the part. So it's slow and it's prone to error. The faster, better way to cut these pieces off of a flat parent sheet is with a large horizontal bandsaw. The idea here is we place the flat part onto the table surface. This is a traveling table saw, so we have a horizontal blade bandsaw cutting in a horizontal plane. I'll get to the details in just a minute. We stick the sheet to the table and we run it through to cut the pieces off. We've done this several times. This machine is exceptional and warranting its own specific video because of basically the size of the thing. So I've always built these like 48 inches wide, maybe 60 inches wide. This machine, the table width is 110 inches wide and 144 inches deep. So that's the maximum part size I can put on this table. Table details. So to support, grab the workpiece, we have the tables covered with an array of suction cups. These suction cups are special. They have a little silver button in the middle, and if nothing is touching the button, they don't pull vacuum. And they have a cleat inside, so when something is touching it, it touches the button, you pull vacuum, and it pulls down until the part touches the cleat. That gives you a nice register, or it pulls down until it's a cleat and it doesn't pull down any further, so you can locate the part accurately. We have this machine divided up into 10 panels. Each panel can be turned on and off individually. The control panel, which I'm sorry you can't see from this angle, has basically 10 illuminated buttons laid out and correspond to each of these panels. Each panel, is served by its own valve and has 4 vacuum pumps. Each vacuum pump, in turn, pulls out of 6 suction cups. The idea of this is the suction cups are interlaced. And much like a car brake system, it gives us redundancy. So first off, the part will only activate a suction cup it's sitting on. But there is a case where you have a suction cup, round suction cup, and the part is only covering half of it and touching the button. So that suction cup is pulling vacuum, but it's leaking. It doesn't have a good grip. And that will open up all of the suction cups on that circuit, but we have 4 circuits per panel. So even if 1 or 2 of the circuits are breached, we still have 2 circuits grabbing. So it gives us a lot of redundancy. And then of course we have the 10 panels, each one of which operates independently of the other. You can run one, you can run all of them, however you need to do it. Why would you only want to run 1 or 2 of the panels? They use a lot of air. Each of the vacuum pumps requires in the ballpark of 1 SCFM of air to operate. So I've got a bunch of pumps, I pull that many times SCFM of air. Pressure, so I'm feeding these with about 40 PSI air. So the SCFM is 1 per pump at 40 PSI. That generates a vacuum of about 25 to 30 PSI per cup. You can turn that up or down If you turn it down, you will get less suction force. If you turn it up, you will not necessarily increase the amount of force or PSI generated each cup, but you will reduce the amount of time it takes to get a good grip. It increases the rate at which the air is pulled out, and so decreases the amount of time it takes to get a good grip. So that's the table for holding the workpiece. By the way, we can pull each of these panels up individually. So we've got 24 suction cups per panel. We have many more holes in that. So if you need to, you can rearrange the cups to better suit your particular workpieces. You could put more suction cups on here, but the suction cups require the pumps, they require more air hosing, they require more air consumption. So this is a reasonably good compromise on number of suction cups and cost and amount of airflow required to operate it. That's the table. The saw. This is about as wide a bandsaw as I would ever want to build. And I need the blade to stay stable so I get a nice cut going through these workpieces. To do that, this is what we call a HD heavy duty version of our horizontal bandsaw. The blade I'm running to make sure I get a good straight cut is 1 1/4 inch wide by 0.42 inch thick, and I believe it has a 10 to 12 tooth per inch variable blade pitch. So basically lots of little small teeth. That is a big blade. To properly tension it, we have a pneumatic blade tensioning system, which also includes low air pressure and blade breaker switches. The amount of force required to tension a blade increases roughly as the square of the blade size. So in rough terms, twice as big a blade requires 4 times as much force to properly tension. That means the blade wheels, the bearings supporting the wheels, the saw structure, all has to be stouter to avoid just folding up. So in addition to running the bigger blade, we got bigger bearings, bigger shafts, heavier frame, reinforced blade tensioning system, everything bigger, heavier, more expensive. But that allows us to run this big fat blade. Controls, this machine has what we call our basic controls. It has inverter controlled table drive. It has powered head raise lower, including electronic digital readouts showing where the head is. So if you find the right position to set the blade to cut a workpiece, you can have that number and just work off that number. That's the basic features. I've got set up here a sample cut. This workpiece is 95 inches across. Most of the time for an application, I would set this long ways like this and cut it the easy way. But I'm here to prove that this machine will cut a very wide workpiece. And let the record show, this is the very first attempt at using this saw to cut anything. So if it goes poorly, I'm deleting this video. If it goes great, you're seeing me now. First thing I'm gonna do, go over the control.